we requested you yourself and Speaker Right Honorable Anita Among. There is exhibition of parliament going on issues of corruption. Give us space on the order paper to have this matter debated. It is 2 months down the road. The world is aware that there's corruption in this parliament. We want this matter to be debated. Why are you running away from that debate? You are meant to be neutral. Give space for all of us equally. Why are you making us suffer? Running through this country looking for signatures to debate this matter of corruption in this parliament.
Thank you.
Why don't you want this matter to be debated on this floor? Deputy Speaker, we need this matter addressed.
Thank you.
If not, we are ready to join the Ugandans because you're blocking us the opportunity to debate. We were voted by our voters to come and debate. Why are you running away from debate, Deputy Speaker? Why is Anita Among running away from debate? Why? We need a parliament which is free corruption.
Former Speaker of Parliament Anita Among could be walking into the anti-corruption court any day now after months of raids, house arrests and a seal of parliament. Prosecutors say her case file is now ready. Today we are breaking down where this case actually stands, what she is accused of, who else is implicated and what could happen next. This is Mr. Isanshwaka Amata Agatafa. Kindly hit that subscribe button before we proceed.
President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, is not a fool. He always gives time for events. So he gave himself time, as well as MK, who declared that the biggest problem of Uganda is corruption. So I thank His Excellency and I thank MK and I thank all the security agencies.
Now, according to Soft Power News, prosecutors have completed the preparations and finalized the case filed against Anita Among, the former Speaker of Parliament and current Bukedya District Woman MP. This clears the way for formal criminal charges to finally be brought. This follows weeks of activities from the Inspectorate of Government and Criminal Investigations Directorate, such as at her properties in Nakasero, Chigo and Bukedya, seizure of documents and electronic devices, and reportedly her vehicles too, including a Rolls-Royce and Range Rovers. As of this report, the specific charges haven't been publicly disclosed, but her expected court appearance is being described as major turning point. The moment this moves from investigation to prosecution is also worth noting. This isn't happening to her alone. 7 senior parliament officials have already been arraigned before the anti-corruption court. The charges: embezzlement, causing financial loss and money laundering, involving roughly 31.9 billion shillings allegedly diverted from Parliament between 2023 and 2026. Those charged include Chris Aliko Obore, who is the Director of Communication, Daniel Adiro, the Director of Human Resource, Leonard Okema, former Executive Secretary in the Office of the Speaker, Rajab Kaya Semarulu, that is Principal Research Officer, Emmanuel Emlon Okwi, Vincent Otebata, Methods Murebe. Those are 5 who have been charged.
Abantu bonna abali awo bateeberezebwa buki? Buteeberezebwa. Era si be basoose. Ate si be bajja okukomayo. Era n'abalala bajja baleeta.
Your Honor, now that the state is here, maybe the state should consider amending this charge sheet so that A5 and A6 appear on a different charge sheet. Otherwise, the way the charge sheet appears, there is a lot of confusion in terms of jurisdiction.
The Inspector General of Government's inquiry reportedly centers on 3 things: alleged money laundering, abuse of office, and irregular recruitment of parliamentary staff. Investigators believe the irregular hiring alone brought in over 500 people into the parliament payroll. There is also the wealth question. Civil society activist Agatha Atuhaire has published documents alleging over 50 billion shillings, about 13.5 million US dollars, was lost through questionable parliamentary operations in less than a year. Some of it allegedly withdrawn directly through the Bank of Uganda channels tied to parliamentary commissions operations. Among has consistently denied any wrongdoing. Speaking recently to a delegation of Teso elders at her Nakasero residence, she maintained that investigations had not been substantiated the allegation against her. To understand how fast this moved, you have to go back to May. Chief of Defense Force Muhoozi Kainerugaba publicly endorsed a rival candidate for Speaker and posted online that he would never sat in a Rolls Royce.
Patriotic League of Uganda nga bwe yali esazeewo nti Right Honorable Anita Among ne Right Honorable Thomas Tayewa ku bifo byabwe ekyowa Speaker oba omukubiriza w'olukiiko n'omumyuka we ensonga eyo nga PLU egisazizaamu.
Adding, I cannot support corruption. Now within 48 hours of that post, the political ground shifted. The Patriotic League of Uganda, a pressure group loyal to Genome 7, withdrew its backing for Anita Among's bid to keep the speakership. She was summoned to State House in Entebbe, where Museveni reportedly told her she was no longer the party's pick. By the time that meeting ended, security teams were already headed to her properties. Since then, Among has spent time under house arrest at her Nakasero residence, reportedly cut off from her phones. The IGG has since completed its investigations and submitted a report to President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, but as of this recent reporting, the president has not publicly commented on what happens next. This is where analysts keep bringing up the Kazinda's case, a past scandal where a senior official was ultimately sentenced to 15 years, had assets confiscated and was barred from public office for a decade. It proved Uganda's court can convict based on unexplained wealth alone. Whether that becomes the template here or whether this case follows a more familiar pattern of delay and quiet resolution is the real question hanging over this story.
Excellency, we want to thank you for loving Bukedea. Bukedea is your second home. And as the chairman said, you're always welcome. Ours is to celebrate the love you've showed the people of Bukedea. And ours is just to thank you and show you that we are going to vote for you.
All of a sudden she says, this is your last supper. I said, no. Yeah, it has turned out it was her last supper. Then recently she was also saying, the opposition, we have swallowed them. Now we are going to wallop them. The 12th parliament, there will be no opposition. Who has been swallowed and walloped? It is herself. So people need to learn. Unfortunately, there's numerous examples, but they don't learn from them. That you get overly excited because you have been bequeathed a position. So the first time that we are raising these issues, when I wrote to the IGG twice, asking her to investigate, that time it was Honorable Betty Kame, asking her to investigate issues of corruption in parliament and so on. She wrote to me saying, I will investigate and so on. There was no interest.
Now, let me share my take on this. What strikes me most isn't just the scale of money involved, it's the timing. For years, corruption allegation foiled Among. She was sanctioned by the US government in 2024 over corruption and theft of public resources alongside her husband. None of that stopped her political rise at that time. What changed wasn't new evidence, it was political will. The moment powerful figures decided she was no longer useful, the machinery of investigations moved with remarkable speed. That's worth sitting with, because it raises a question of Ugandans have asked for years: is accountability here about justice or about who is still in favor?
You get to occupy, you've got to be accountable. This has not been the case. When we're asking and saying billions of shillings that are withdrawn by the Chris Obores and others on their personal accounts and then they take to the speaker, what's that money for? Who budgeted for it?
We are calling for Office of Director Communications, Chris Obore of Parliament, to be checked against corruption. We are calling for Department of HR of Parliament to be checked. The leadership of Anita Among employed over 500 staff illegally here.
You know, as a Christian, I believe in truth coming to light. Scriptures tell us nothing hidden will stay hidden forever, but real accountability has to be consistent. It can't only apply when someone falls out of political favor. If billions of shillings were genuinely diverted from Parliament, that's public money that should have gone to schools, to health care, to the people this government is meant to serve. That matters regardless of who's in the president's good grace this month. I will also say this: due process matters. Among has denied the allegation and no charges have formally read yet. We should let the courts do their work rather than convicting anyone in the courts of public opinion before evidence is tested. But we should also watch closely to see if this case actually goes the distance or quietly fades the way some past scandals have. Here's what we are watching in these coming days. First, whether formal charges are actually read against Among in the anti-corruption court. Second, whether the case expands further into parliament bureaucracy beyond the 7 already charged. And third, whether President Museveni breaks his silence on the IGG report now sitting on his desk. We will keep tracking this story as it develops. So for now, that's where things stand right now with Anita Among case, a story that is still very unfolding. If you want to stay ahead of the next development, subscribe and turn on the notification. Drop your thought in the comment section. Do you think this case reaches trial, or does it fade like others have been before? God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one.
Challenge about these people who are handpicked and bequeathed a position. He will get there and probably want to become subservient because they gave him the position. So even things that don't merit, that don't, that are not in tandem with the law, he might want to do them just to please the other people. I hope he will be smarter than that.
You need to come out clean. Right Honorable Speaker, you, Right Honorable Anita Among, has been painted out for being corrupt. Your name has been mentioned for being corrupt. We are also having a motion to have a matter debated on the commissioners. We have our evidence. We want to lay and